Hi class, this is Mrs. Cornett and I am going to show you some problems from section 6.2. All of these problems are factoring trinomials with double variables, which may look hard at first, but I want to show you that they're not really as hard as you may think. So take a look at these problems. I have copied these straight from your textbook, and so the answers will be in your textbook. So take a look at number 23. We're going to factor number 23 exactly how I've been teaching you how to factor trinomials. This is a trinomial where the x squared term has a 1 for a coefficient. And so we can use the method that you find two factors that add to the middle term and multiply to the coefficient of the last term. So go ahead and draw two parentheses. In the first spot of both parentheses will be our x terms. Next, the second term of each binomial is where we'll put the letter z, because when we multiply the last terms together, if you were to FOIL out your answer, that's where we come up with the z squared. But let me show you how we're going to come up with the numbers. We need to find two numbers that add to -7 and multiply to -18. The easiest way to do this is to first start with what multiplies to -18. This could be 6 and 3, 2 and 9, and 1 and 18. Okay, you can look at 2 and 9, and those are two numbers that have a difference of 7. The two factors need to add to a -7, so the larger number needs to be negative. So in this first parenthesis, I'm going to put a -9. The second parenthesis, I'll put a +2. And that's your answer. But let me just show you really quickly why this is the correct answer. I'm going to go ahead and FOIL this back out. So the first is your x squared. The outside is plus 2xz, because remember those variables go in alphabetical order. The inside is -xz, and the last term is -9z times 2z, which is -18z squared. And then do you see when you combine these two middle terms, that's where the 7xz comes from, and then you can see it multiplies back to the original problem. 25 is x squared minus 5xy plus 6y squared. Start the problem off by drawing the two sets of parentheses, and the first term will be your x term. Because of the double variable, you'll put y in the second position of each parentheses, and then we'll follow the same thing we did on the previous problem. We're looking for two numbers that add to -5 and multiply to +6. So numbers that multiply to +6 are 1 and 6, -1, -6, 2 and 3, and -2, -3. But which one of those pairs of factors add to -5? And it's this one right here, -2, -3. So in any order, that's the coefficient of the y term, -2 and -3, and that's your final answer. Take a look at 27, x squared plus 15xy plus 50y squared. Start off by drawing two parentheses. In the first position of each parenthesis, put an x. In the second position of each parenthesis, put a y. Now we're going to come up with the two factors that multiply to 50 and add to 15. Always start with the factors of your multiplication number. So 1 and 50, 2 and 25, 5 and 10. Am I missing anything? I think that's good enough, because do you see the factors 5 and 10? If they were both positive, it would multiply to a +50 and it would add to a +15. So in any order, put +5 and +10, and that's your final answer. 29 is a squared plus 2ab minus 15b squared. Same process. Draw two parentheses. In the first position of each parenthesis, put your a term. In the second position, put your b term. Now we'll come up with the two factors that add to +2 and multiply to -15. Always start with the factors that multiply to negative 15. This is negative 5 and 3, positive 5 and negative 3, negative 1 and 15, and positive 1 and negative 15. Which pair of factors in red will add to positive 2? What's this one right here? Positive 5 and a negative 3. In any order, write positive 5 and negative 3. And that's your final answer. Let me show you one more on this video. This is number 30, y squared plus 4yz minus 60z squared. We're going to start off the same way. Put the y term in the first position, the z term in the second position. Now we're looking for two factors that add to positive 4 and multiply to negative 60. So I'm going to come over here and let's list out factors that multiply to negative 60. Negative 6, 10. Negative 10, positive 6. 2, negative 30. Negative 3, positive 20. Oh, what are some other ones? We could also switch up the negative 2 with the positive 30. But I can stop right here because I already noticed that this very first one that I wrote actually is the right combination of factors that will add together to equal a positive 4. So in any order, put a positive 10 and a negative 6. And that's your final answer. Well, that's all for this video. Please let me know if you have any questions, especially when you are factoring trinomials with double variables, because I'd love to give you some help.